7:25, folks, so we're going to be turn down and put lens caps on for the time being. Lens caps.
You know, every time I go out to speak, everybody want a sound bite. I'm going to give you a sound bite really quick. I'm sick and tired of people putting this country down. They want to ask me why I'm running. Let's be real. I'm sick and tired. You look at the economy, you look at the gas prices. You can't buy a grocery now. It's time for us to wake up. It's time for me to get out and fight. Because I'm going to tell you, I love to win. I said, put me in the game, coach. I'm ready to play. Have you ever seen me play, I can play. Have you ever seen me fight, I can fight. No matter how hard they come, how hard I can fight. I'm sick and tired of this. Tell your friends to get out and vote. I'm not here to be a politician. I'm here to be a warrior. Protect this country, protect our citizens, and protect our kids. No weapon formed against me shall ever prosper. Boom! That's it, baby!
Canton. Hello, Cherokee County. Are you ready to send a message to the entire country on December 6th? You're darn right we are. My name is Ralph Reed. I'm the former chairman of the Republican Party in this state, and I currently head the Faith and Freedom Coalition. And I saw where Joe Biden said at the White House yesterday that he didn't learn a thing from these elections, and he wasn't going to change a thing. Well, maybe that's what he thinks. I got news for Joe Biden. We're sending Herschel Walker to the U.S. Senate, and things are going to change. You know, I got a big kick out of Raphael Warnock today holding his first event of the runoff campaign. I think there were 12 people there, right? He has more friends in the media than he does at the grassroots. And he said, we know how to do runoffs. We've done this before, right? Well, I got news for Raphael Warnock. You may have done this before, but you never ran against 34, and he's going to leave you in the dust. We are going to send a man to the U.S. Senate that they have thrown everything at him, including the kitchen sink. $100 million in negative ads, some of the most vicious, sordid personal attacks, gutter politics that you and I have ever seen in our lives. And all it did is make him stronger. All it did is make him better. All it did is make him more resilient. And on December 6th, he's going to take this Senate seat for the people of Georgia. Now, I am thrilled to recommend a man who is not only brilliant, who is not only one of the most effective champions for our conservative values that has ever served in the U.S. Senate. A man who many of us supported when he ran for president in 2020. A man who could easily be on the Supreme Court, could serve in any office, and would be the smartest guy in the room. Went to Princeton University undergrad, one of the most brilliant attorneys literally in America today. As Solicitor General of Texas, he fought for our rights under the Bill of Rights. He argued for the Ten Commandments before the Supreme Court and won. He is one of the best champions that we have ever had. But there's something about him that is even more impressive. And that is, he has a good heart. He loves the Lord. He's a patriot. He was here for Herschel early and often. Herschel does not have a better friend. And I think it is appropriate that the very first national figure who came in for the runoff is one of the finest public servants in America. Let's give a warm Georgia welcome to Senator Ted Cruz.
God bless the great state of Georgia. And God bless Herschel Walker. I want everyone here to look around this tent. We got over 3,000 people gathered here tonight. We got the men and women of Georgia rising up and saying to the Marxists that are trying to destroy this country, hell no. I'm here to tell you that on December 6th, Herschel Walker is winning this race. And I want to tell the men and women of Georgia, the eyes of the country are upon you. The odds are high that control of the Senate will be decided by the men and women of Georgia. And I'll tell you what has happened in Washington over the last 2 years. They've managed to screw everything up. The stakes in this race could not be higher. If you look at the last 2 years, inflation out of control. Prices of everything through the roof. Price of food skyrocketing. Price of health care. Price of electricity. Price of rent. Price of lumber. Price of mortgages. Price of gasoline. Look, it's so bad, Antifa can't afford bricks. Inflation is so bad, Eric Swalwell can't afford Chinese dinners. Inflation's so bad, Hunter Biden can't afford crack cocaine. Crime is out of control. Murder rates have skyrocketed. Carjacking rates have skyrocketed. And we've had soft on crime Democrats demonizing the police, attacking the police, arguing for defunding the police, arguing for abolishing the police. George Soros DAs letting murderers go in our communities. I'm here to tell you right now, the men and women of Georgia support the brave men and women in law enforcement. Raphael Warnock calls police officers bullies and thugs. I'll tell you, the only bullies and thugs we've got are the Democrats in Washington. The chaos at our southern border, I'll tell you, being from the state of Texas, it has never been as bad as it is right now. 4.7 million illegal immigrants have crossed under Joe Biden. And the Democrat Party supports it, And they want it. In fact, you're not allowed to use the term illegal immigrant. There's a new politically correct term, undocumented Democrat. And I'll tell you, in Texas, I've been down to the border a lot. I've gone out on midnight patrol with the Border Patrol agents. A few years ago, we went to a stash house. They kicked open the door of the stash house. They brought out some big, scary guys, big guys, tatted up. The agents are all calling over, going, Senator, Senator, come over here. I'm going, ixnay on the editor say. Just call me Bob. A few months ago, I brought 7 senators down to the border. We went out on midnight patrol. You don't have to look for people crossing illegally. They find you. Within minutes, they find you. Women, children. Border Patrol agents pointed us to a patch of grass where a few weeks earlier they'd found 2 little girls aged 5 and 6 who had been brutally sexually assaulted by human traffickers. They had to give emergency medical care to those little girls. That is happening every single day. And the Democrats and the corrupt corporate media, they do not care at all. Until 50 arrived in Martha's Vineyard. And suddenly, the white-bread, lily-livered, hypocritical socialist billionaires discovered we had a crisis. You know, everything that could go wrong for the country under Democrats in the last 2 years has gone wrong. And I want to right now give a shout out to an elderly woman who's relied on government transportation to get to and from work, who now finds herself out of a job, and Nancy Pelosi doesn't know what to do with herself. On election day, we got half the job done, and we flipped the House. On November 6th, we're getting the other half done, and we're flipping the Senate. And I got to tell you, there is no state in the union with a bigger divide between their senator and the values of the state. Look, Raphael Warnock, you know, Herschel and I were sitting down at a barbecue restaurant a few weeks back having lunch. Actually, the depressing thing is I was having lunch. Herschel doesn't eat lunch, which is why he's a Hall of Famer, and I'm a lawyer. But we were talking over barbecue, and we observed the simple dynamic. Democrats win when they lie effectively. And Republicans win when we tell the truth effectively. Now, why is that? The reason is simple, because our values are the values of the people of Georgia and the values of this country. I want you to think of the ads Raphael Warnock is running. He's running ads all over Georgia saying, well, you know, I teamed up with Ted Cruz to pass legislation building a new freeway. And I'll tell you what, that is actually right. It was the Cruz-Warnock bill. I introduced it, I wrote it, he joined on board, and we passed it. But what's interesting is he didn't mention the stuff he's done. He didn't mention his record. He didn't mention that he voted to send stimulus checks to every single illegal alien in America. Raphael Warnock didn't mention that he voted to send stimulus checks to criminals in jail. Raphael Warnock didn't mention that he voted in favor of school shutdowns all across this country. He didn't mention that he voted in favor of COVID vaccine mandates and the government forcing you to take a vaccine against your wishes. Let me tell you, I forced a vote on the Senate floor that said that the FBI should not target parents, not target moms and dads as domestic terrorists for speaking up at school boards. Raphael Warnock voted no, and he said send the G-man after the moms and dads. I forced a vote on the Senate floor and said the D.C. public schools should not enforce a COVID vaccine mandate that would throw out of school 40% of the African American kids in the D.C. public schools. Raphael Warnock voted no to throw out of school 40% of the black kids in D.C. And look, this really underscores something. In a race like this, the Democrats, they don't talk about what Herschel believes. They don't talk about what he'll stand for. What they try to do is they try to smear his character. They try to go nasty. They try to go personal. They try to go vicious because they cannot defend their record. Let me tell you what's happened under Democrat school shutdowns. Our kids' reading scores have plummeted. Our kids' math scores have plummeted. And the racial gap, the gap between white kids and black kids on their testing scores, last year grew by the biggest amount in the history of our country. That's what happens when Democrats are in charge. But here's the good news. The people of Georgia don't want any more of that. The people of Georgia don't believe in the radical policies bankrupting this country. So I want to make an invitation today. I want to make an invitation. We got a whole bunch of TV cameras, so I'd like to make an invitation to President Joe Biden. Joe Biden, come to Georgia. Joe Biden, come campaign alongside Raphael Warnock. I'm going to make another invitation. Kamala Harris, come to Georgia. Kamala Harris, come campaign alongside Raphael Warnock. I'm going to make another invitation. Stacey Abrams, I'm sorry. I'm actually supposed to call her Governor Stacey Abrams. Come to Georgia. Come campaign alongside Raphael Warnock. And by the way, while we're at it, Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer, come to Georgia. Come campaign alongside Raphael Warnock. And you know why none of them will do it? Because the people of Georgia don't believe in the garbage that they're putting in place. And Raphael Warnock is lockstep with them and Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren and every other whack job in Washington. And by the way, I want to talk a minute to regular people in Georgia. People, because the media will say, well, look, if you're middle of the road, if you're moderate, then you want to vote for the Democrats. There ain't nothing moderate about people that shut down schools and shut down churches. There ain't nothing moderate about people that vote to confirm radicals who want to abolish the police like Raphael Warnock has. There ain't nothing moderate about using the FBI to target parents. There ain't nothing moderate about voting for open borders over and over and over again like Raphael Warnock has. There ain't nothing moderate about voting against school choice and voting against the kids of Georgia like Raphael Warnock has over and over again. And there ain't nothing moderate about voting to confirm radical judges who'll take away our free speech, our religious liberty, and our Second Amendment. The people of Georgia are going to elect Herschel Walker because we're going to defend the Bill of Rights. The people of Georgia are going to elect Herschel Walker because we're going to defend our liberty. And I'll tell you, in January, I look forward to walking down the hallway in the Capitol with Herschel. And we're going to bump into a little man in overalls carrying a screwdriver coming to change the sign on Chuck Schumer's door. And these radical Democrats who have sold the people of Georgia down the river are going to be out of a job. Let me say one other thing. Look, the people of Georgia, you guys know Herschel Walker. Herschel Walker, the greatest college football player ever to play the game. Herschel Walker is beloved in the state of Georgia. And you know what? Herschel Walker didn't have to do this. There's an old line that politics is Hollywood for ugly people. I appreciate the kind sentiments, but buy me dinner first. All right. But listen, Herschel Walker, before this got started, he wasn't fake famous like politics. He was real famous. He had life as a gridiron god, where he's rich, famous, beloved, and he made a decision, a knowing decision he didn't have to. He looked at what was happening in this country, and he said, the country I love is in crisis. Our freedoms are at risk. And Herschel and Julie, they went in with eyes open. They knew the Democrats would lie about him. They knew the media would lie about him. They knew they would attack his family. They knew they would demonize him. And he stood up and said, I don't care. I will answer the call. I will stand and fight for the people of Georgia. I want to say to everyone in Georgia on December 6th, come out and vote. Bring your family, bring your friends, bring your neighbors, bring your dog. Your dog can't vote, but if your dog's cute enough, someone might come out and vote too. Everyone in Georgia, look, the people of Texas are asking for your help. The people of this country are asking for your help. You have the chance to save this country, and the rest of the country is waiting on you. And I want to say to everyone else that's not in Georgia, the Democrats are fixing to spend $100 million smearing and sliming Herschel Walker. Please come right now to teamherschel.com, teamherschel.com, teamherschel.com. By the end of it, Herschel needs to be like Lindsey Graham. He needs to legally change his name to lindseygraham.com, but don't go there. Go to teamherschel.com. And give $5, $10, $20, $50, whatever you can. $34. Or $340, or $3,400. Because I'm here to tell you right now, we're going to win. Georgia is going to win for America. And so I give you, my friend, I give you a man with courage, a man who is diving into the fight, a man who knows what it's like to be in overtime. And the Democrats can't tackle this man because they can't stop him when he's running forward for the people of Georgia. I give you your next senator, the great Herschel.
Hello. Hello there. Thank you. Before any speech I ever make, I always acknowledge my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Because he said if you don't acknowledge him, he's not going to acknowledge you. And I also want to acknowledge my wife, Julie, who's in this fight with me. And also my team, Herschel. And also all of you for coming. Thank you for coming. Thank you so much. And Senator Cruz, thank you, sir. Thank you so much. And we have a lot of elected officials here. I want to thank them as well for being here. And I want to tell you guys something. They said we're in overtime. We're in overtime. That means we got a runoff. Hey, I was built for this. I was built for this. Yes. And I tell you, yes, I was built for this. God prepared me for this moment right here. And I'm going to tell y'all why. Because if anyone know anything about me, then you're going to know I grew up in that little town called Wrightsville, Georgia. And my mom said I was big bone, which meant I was fat. And I used to have this speech impediment, so for 4 years of my life, I never spoke in a classroom. For 4 years of my life, I never went out for a recess. Kids really didn't think I could speak. Because of the grace of God, though, I got a scholarship to go to college. Because of the grace of God, I got a chance to win a Heisman Trophy. Because of the grace of God, I got to play 15 years in pro football. Because of the grace of God, I got a chance to be on the 1992 Olympics bobsled team. But that's just some stuff. That's a lot of stuff. Means absolutely nothing. Because God had to break me because he knew that something was happening that he was getting me ready for. And all that stuff wasn't enough. Because I was getting ready to go up against a wolf in sheep's clothing. Yeah. So what I did, what happened then, they told me I had a mental problem. Think about this now. I never drank before in my life. Never tasted beer, never had any alcohol, never taken any medicine in this body. But they told me I had a mental problem, and I'm like, wait, Herschel got a mental problem? And I'm talking about myself in third person, but I know that. So I went to this hospital, and I remember being at this hospital, and I go, whoa, these people here are crazy. I am not like them. But then because of the grace of God, I realized that we all fall short. But then what happened then is, as I was looking around, because I started watching television, which is the biggest mistake you can make in your life, I happened to see this minister on television. And he said, the problem we have with America is racism. And the next thing I saw is he was being elected to the United States Senate to represent the great state of Georgia. And I said, wait, no. I said, wait. He don't represent Georgia. Because I'm Georgia born and Georgia bred, and when I die, I'll be Georgia dead. So he don't represent Georgia. He don't represent Georgia. And all of a sudden I see him going to Washington, and then I hear how he's voted with Joe Biden 96% of the time. Which man, no, give him, we can agree to disagree, but we got to agree to disagree with someone like that. And he don't know, but it's time for him to go. Yes, it is time for him to go, and I want to tell him right now, don't let that door hit you in the backside as you leave the people office. Because I was built for this right here, and so as I started looking at him, what he was doing to this great country, to this great state, I said, not on my watch, I'm not going to let this happen. Because in the book I read, it says nothing about the color of your skin. God talks about your heart. It doesn't talk about the color of your skin. And he's in a church where a man talks about the content of your character, not the color of your skin. And all he talks about is the color of your skin. You heard the senator tell you, most everything he was trying to introduce had to do with the color of someone's skin. Not. Because let me tell you, if we can't get through that door together, none of us are going to get there at all. Because we can't get there. None of us are going to get there at all. Because I'm going to tell you right now, something happened to me when I was young. Something happened where my mom taught me that there's no color in right and wrong. And that's what we got to get to. There's no color in right and wrong. But what we have done, we've elected people to office that have forgotten about the Constitution of the United States of America. Yes, and they've forgotten about America. And they think when somebody says make America great again, that's a bad term. I'm telling you, if you live in America, you should want America to be great again. I am a little bit confused why somebody don't think America should be great. And I told them, I'm like Ricky Bobby. I don't like to be second. I think we're a great country, but the way we become even greater, we got to come together. Because in the book I read, it says a house divided cannot stand. And we're not going to divide that house underneath my watch. We're not going to divide that house underneath my watch. And y'all can tell I'm not a politician. I don't look like one, don't talk like one, don't act like one. I'm that warrior from God that he's been looking for. I'm that warrior from God he's been looking for. That is going to go to Washington. He's going to go to Washington and he's going to say, no, no, no. Like my father said, when I say no, I mean no. And then when he got to the point that I didn't like the rules underneath his roof, he said, you can leave my house. And that's what we got to get back to, is if you don't like the rules of the United States of America, you can leave. Okay? No one is keeping you here. No one is keeping you here. But the guy I'm running against, he's a slick devil, is he not? He's a slick one. I knew that when I saw him. And my father told me about those smooth walking, dress talking people. They dress so nice and they get up with all the big words. And you heard him. I hope you heard him in that debate. You heard him in that debate, but all of a sudden in that debate, he couldn't speak that slick talk no more, didn't he? Yeah, no. He became Scooby-Doo at some moment. Y'all heard that, did you not? Y'all heard that, because in that debate, they asked him, they said, sir, will you vote for Joe Biden in 2024? And he went, oh. And I said, hey, he now know that he's facing his redemption, and that is Herschel Walker. And then he was dying to go into overtime. He was dying to go into overtime, because if you watch what he was saying, we're going to go in a runoff. And I was saying, no, I want to beat you outright. And if he want to go in a runoff with me, I'm saying, you bring it, Holmes. You bring, because I was built for this. This is what I was built for. And then, no. And Senator Cruz talked about it. Here's the reason that the crime is. And I'm going to tell you, every woman want to leave her house at night. And the reason you don't want to leave is because someone one night that had made a police officer the morale go down. He brought the recruitment down. And I remember the other day, I told everyone I was leaving my campaign office and it was starting to get dark outside. And as it was starting to get dark outside, I happened to watch this police officer that pulled his car over. And this car was white. The tinted windows were in the car. And as he was walking up to this car, I got nervous. I got nervous because as I see all the iPhones, and I said, well, I don't want anything to happen. I don't want that officer to bother this guy. And then I started thinking, we got to reform the officer. And then I said, no, we got that wrong too. Why don't we reform this citizen so we all can go home safe? Because everybody want to go home safe. But because we have a sitting senator like Senator Warnock that don't believe in law and order. He don't believe in law and order. When you want to release prisoners out of jail, prisoners out of prison, want a no-cash bail. And I said, hey, in the book I read, I remember with Adam and Eve, and God said, from this place here you have total freedom. But if you touch and eat from that tree, you will surely die. They were held to responsibility. So now you need to get leaders in Washington that's going to become leaders, not followers. And he's a follower. He's a follower to vote for Joe Biden 96% of the time. He either following Joe Biden or he has no clue of what he's doing. So he decide on what he wants. Follow Joe Biden or don't know what the heck he's doing. So that's the reason he need to leave that office. Because he's voted to make it harder on us. He's making it harder on us. Do y'all feel more money in your pocket? Do you feel more money in your pocket? Hey, has the gas prices gone up? Has your grocery bill gone up? Have your utility bill gone up? Well, you know who's the cause of that. It's not just Joe Biden, but it's Senator Warnock as well. But he's not going to tell you that. He's not going to tell you that because all they're talking about is what Herschel Walker has done. Let me tell you what I've done. I built my own business. I haven't lived off my parishioners. I haven't lived off the taxpayer because that's the only thing he's done. And then he lived off his, I'm going to call him millionaire slumlord. Shouldn't you call him a millionaire slumlord? You seen what he was doing in that apartment building he's doing over there? And then I want to get out of it. No, you can't get out of that, sir. That's your fault of that. You know, he always say, I'm a Matthew 25. All those great words. But he don't read the whole sentence. He don't read the whole verse. Matthew 25 don't say you evict poor people out of their home. Matthew 25 means you help people. You care for people, but he don't care for them. He's a hypocrite. And I know he is a hypocrite, and everyone know that. And I told him I'm going to call him Wrecking Ralph. I'm going to call him Wrecking Ralph because he wrecked everything since he's been in office. Y'all seen that. No. Let's call him the Grinch. The Grinch that stole everybody's dreams because he's stealing every kid America's dream because what he's trying to tell white kids that they're an oppressor. He's trying to tell black kids that they're victims. Well, I'm here to tell you that every kid can be a victorious when they vote for me because I'm going to help you to become that America's dream. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I am sick and tired of people putting this country down. I am sick and tired of people telling kids they can't make it. And you know, Senator Cruz told you, and he didn't tell you that, did he? He didn't tell you that. He said he wants every kid to get that education. He didn't tell you he voted against that. Let me tell you the reason he didn't tell you. Because the teachers union, one of his biggest fundraisers. Yeah, he didn't want to hurt the teachers union. Y'all know the leader of the teachers union make over $500,000 a year. And the average teacher, what do they make? $50-something thousand. So that means that she's making almost 9 times as much as the average teacher's making. So he didn't want to tell you that he don't want a kid to get an education. What he wanted to do is he wanted the teacher union to support him. I'm telling you right now, no. Let's give every kid an education. Let's pay teachers more, but then we also going to put money in the kid, not in that institution. Let's give a kid an opportunity to get that education. That's what I want. And then no. And then he want to tell you, because he was with the Black Lives Matter. Black lives do matter, but all lives matter. Victim lives matter. Everybody lives matter. Because he said, and this is what he said. I'm not saying it. This is what he said. He said a doctor, a patient, and the government can't be in the same room. Y'all know his abortion stance. And I said, wait, sir, there's a baby in that room too. Did he forget about there's a baby there too? Wait. He's a pastor. sir. And then nobody want to call him out. Well, I'm going to call him out. Truth is true. And there's a baby in that room, but he didn't tell you this, did he? He did not tell you this. He wanted the government to come back in that room and pay for it. Did he tell you that? He wanted the government to come back in and pay for it. But then I'm going to tell you this right here that he's not telling you. Remember I mentioned Black Lives Matter? Do you know the majority of the babies aborted in Atlanta are black? So what is he doing? So that's what I'm trying to tell you. He is a hypocrite. He's not telling you that. He's a hypocrite. He's not telling you the truth. And he's going to continue to be that hypocrite, that wolf in sheep's clothing, because he's not telling you this either. You know, he had voted against our military. He said you can't serve God and the military at the same time. Do you know we're the greatest country in the United States, in the world, because we have the United States military. But yet they bringing pronouns. They're bringing pronouns in our military. So his pronoun going to be former senator. Pronoun. That's his pronoun. Former senator. That's his pronoun. Because let me tell you what I want to do. What I want to do, I want to support our military and give them all the resources that they need to get their job done. Not bringing pronouns into our military. We're not going to bring no pronouns into our military. Are you serious? And then we letting them get away with this stuff. They're just lying to you. They're lying to you. Everything they're saying about you, that's what they're doing to themselves. And we gotta wake up to it. Senator Warnock is a reverend too. You heard him. He's a reverend too. Whenever he gets feeling guilty, he starts bringing his reverend into the situation. Hey, that don't bother me, does it? Don't bother me because you're hurting my family. And all you are my family, because I'm going to tell you something that you may not know. It ain't the color of your skin, because 23andMe has screwed us all up. It don't matter what we are. It don't matter what we are. But what I do know we're Americans. That's what matters, that we're all Americans. And that's what we need to get back to. We need to get back to being an American rather than being something else. Because that's what they're trying to do. That's divided. When they dividing you, that's how they conquer. But I want us to wake up to it. That's what you got to do. You got to get out and vote. You got to get out and vote, because, you know, he hung around and got into this runoff. And he thinking he's going to win. We need to prove him wrong and let him get out of that office. He don't deserve to be in that office representing Georgia. Hey, I thought he was from California, the way he was voting. I thought he was from California. That's where most of his donor money come from, is California. Oh, no, New York. And let me tell you, he didn't tell you this either. Do you know he had an opportunity to get almost $1 billion contract to do a job here in Marietta, Georgia? But you know what he did? He gave it to Chuck Schumer to do a rail system. Yeah, he gave it to Chuck Schumer. He's not telling you that, is it? He bent over for Chuck Schumer. And did you see Chuck Schumer talking about him on that air tour mic? He was talking about it to the president, told him he was going to lose. And he know he's going to lose, and he don't know that those guys don't like him. They just using him for his vote, and he's voting right along with it. I told him, you better stand up straight, Senator. Get off your knees and let them do whatever they want to you. Get up and stand up. Stand up for the great people of Georgia. Stand up. You know, he maybe, I don't know him that well, because I tried to shake his hand after that debate, and he couldn't wait to get out of that room. He couldn't wait to get out. I wouldn't wait either, because I became the adult in the room, because I took him to school. Did y'all see that? I took him to school. And then maybe now he'll realize that he got to get off his knees, that begging them to do things for him, and start representing Georgia the right way. Less than 2 years, y'all see what he's done to this country. Less than 2 years, he's done it to you. He got to do it again. He asked him for 6 more years. 6 more years. We cannot recover from that. Did you hear this? Joe Biden, they told the president, you headed in the wrong direction. So that means Senator Warnock got to do nothing. So this is what we're going to have. You're going to continue to have the high gas prices. You're going to continue to have high utility bills. You're going to continue to have high grocery prices. You're going to continue to have crime on the street. You're going to continue to have that open border. And do y'all know this? 70% of the drugs coming across the border, go through that. That's where they redistribute the drugs at. And you've seen fentanyl. Fentanyl is killing most all the young people from 18 to 45. And what are they doing about it? Absolutely nothing. So you need leaders that are going to go down to the border, as Senator Cruz said, and we're going to do something about it. I can promise you this. I'm not going to Washington to make friends. I'm going to Washington to do my job. That's what he should have done. I'm going to Washington to do my job. And then they said that I don't need this. They said I don't need this. That's not the truth. I do need this because I'm not going to let my family hurt. They're not going to hurt my family. No, they're not. My parents taught me you protect your family. And that's what I'm going to Washington to do, to protect my family. And all of you are my family. So I'm going to protect my family. And that's what I say I'm going to do. You know, football wasn't my life. Football had nothing to do with my life. Track had nothing to do with my life. That Olympic bobsled had nothing to do with my life. Even my business I built had nothing to do with my life. My life, God prepared me for this moment right here. And I finally found that out. And that's the reason I decided to run. And I'm telling you right now, we cannot continue to do this. We cannot continue to do this. I want everyone to call a friend and tell your friend to get out and vote. Tell your friend you got to go out and vote. Do not sit on the sideline no more. Because if we sit on the sideline, we will not recognize this country again. They want to change everything about this country. They want to change it. And I said, right now, we got the B team in. We got the B team in. It's time to put the A team in. It is time to put the A team in. And the way we can do it is December the 6th. December the 6th, we got to get out and vote. And tell your friends to get out and vote. This is the most important election of your lifetime. It's coming December the 6th. We don't want to have Kamala Harris make decisions. We don't even want to have Senator Warnock making any more decisions for us. It is time for us to end this in the way you walk as. But hey, this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. We got a couple more days before I can take him out of that office. Just a couple of more days. But let me tell you what. He's going to become trash. He's not trash yet. He's going to become trash. And the only reason I say that is I'm sick and tired of people putting this country down. This is the greatest country in the world today, the United States of America. And let me just say this. You know, guys, this green agenda. No. When we get to the point that we can get this green agenda together, I'm going to be all for it. Right now, we're not ready. And you see what they're doing to us. I'm just dealing with this. I don't know if y'all know that he was one of the people that wanted that student loan. He went in to get that student relief loan. And y'all know that he said he went in and talked to the president and told the president to really go out there and put that student loan together. And I don't know if you've seen what the kids said that they were doing with the money. Someone was going on vacation. Yeah, they were going on vacation. They were buying video games. They were buying and drugs and gambling. And I'm thinking they're hanging out with Hunter Biden. Well, what I'm going to do, I'm going to help you get your money back in your pocket.